This is Frank Romero's Death of Rubén Salazar from 1986. And the painting comes from a larger series of works that he has titled his Police Brutality series. And it depicts the events of August 29th, 1970, a day in which the Chicano community of Los Angeles came out to protest the Vietnam War. The event is known as the Chicano Moratorium, and it was one of the largest anti-war protests by Mexican Americans in the United States history. And on this day, Rubén Salazar, who was a very important Mexican American journalist who worked for the Los Angeles Times, as well as a local Spanish language TV station, went out to cover the moratorium. After the largely peaceful demonstration was over, he retired with his crew to the Silver Dollar Cafe. Reports say that the police heard of disturbances at the Silver Dollar and sent deputies to the scene, one of which shot a gas projectile into the Silver Dollar, which hit Salazar's head and killed him instantly. In this painting, Romero reflects on who Salazar was and his legacy in history. And one of the interesting things about this canvas is how Romero collapses several moments in time. In the center of the canvas, we see the actual events of August 29th, specifically when one sheriff shot a projectile through the roof, although when the event occurred, the projectile went through the door. And then we see Romero thinking about the impact and legacy of that event, but also Rubén Salazar's life. We see the Boulevard Theater, which is an actual theater that existed in East Los Angeles and existed on the street, but several blocks down the road. On the marquee, Romero has written La Muerte de Rubén Salazar, the death of Rubén Salazar, as if a film were being screened in this movie theater about the life of Rubén Salazar. Salazar was an important journalist who, during the late 1960s, wrote and chronicled the development of the Chicano movement for civil rights. He penned a very important essay called What is a Chicano and What is it that Chicanos want?, in which he defined Chicano as a Mexican American with a non-Anglo image of himself. After his death, he became a martyr. And this painting pays tribute to his legacy and also documents the tragic circumstances of his death. Frank Romero was part of a generation of young Chicano artists working since the late 1960s that began to consciously explore aspects of Chicano history and culture. He formed part of one of the first Chicano collectives, Los Four, that included other artists in our collection like Carlos Almaraz and John Valadez. He and other artists who were part of Los Four were muralists, and many of them painted murals throughout the streets of Los Angeles. In this painting, we see him referring in many ways to that tradition of muralism. But at the same time, the historical subject of this painting urges us to view it as a contemporary history painting that presents pivotal events that shaped American history.